Welcome back to another Elite Ace Aviation video. On today's video, we talk about something a little different and mysterious, a topic that's been hot in the press lately and a subject that has been debated since the beginning of our civilization. We talk about UFOs, unidentified flying objects, or as the government refers to it, UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena. Not only do we talk about the possibility of the little green guys, but we discuss the propulsion possibilities based on the numerous eyewitness accounts of the UAPs and just how far off us humans are in regards to aviation technology. Now, if you like content like this, please consider subscribing and giving this video a like. Now let's get on to the video. 2020 has been a year full of surprises and unexpected events. Who would have thought, in addition to all the crazy events this year, we would also be bombarded with eyewitness accounts from various military pilots that say they have seen UFOs while flying, and some were even able to snap some photos and videos of these incredibly advanced pieces of technology. Not only have we had eyewitness accounts from numerous military pilots, but the government themselves have come to admit that they have a special program now in place to handle all reports of UFOs by pilots and military. The program is Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, founded in 2007, but was only made public in December of 2017. With all these sightings lately, you would think it was something new for pilots to see possible UFOs, but if we look back in history, we'll see this is actually not new at all. In the 1940s, Allied pilots during World War II coined the term Foo Fighter to describe various UFOs or mysterious aerial phenomena seen in the skies over both European and Pacific theaters of operations. These objects would appear both by themselves and in formation flight. The objects would closely follow Allied bombers and would even get so close that it would scare the pilots because they thought they would explode. Many of the eyewitnesses during this time also said the objects looked like they were almost on fire or glowing red, white, or orange. The military took these sightings seriously and suspected the Foo Fighters may be a secret weapon by the Germans. But under further investigation, it revealed that both Japanese and Germans had similar sightings. In 1947, the famous Roswell incident occurred, where the first initial reports and eyewitness reports all stated that they saw pieces of a UFO that had crashed where debris was spread for miles. Many of the witnesses were military officers that responded the day of the crash and said that the large pieces of object, when held, felt as light as paper, although it was an unknown type of metal material. It was not long after the crash officials would come out in front of the media and say that the crash was a weather balloon, although no witnesses agreed. Not only was Roswell a big incident in the United States in relation to UFOs, but numerous other sightings and incidents occurred often near military bases and in air reported by pilots all across the United States and the world.
Was anybody above us that passed us like 30 seconds ago?
Number 71 Papa Golf negative.
Okay. A UFO. Yeah.
American 1095, let me know if you see anything pass over you here in the next 15 miles.
You know if anything passes over?
American 1095, affirmative. We had an aircraft in front of you that's 37 that reported something pass over him, and we didn't have any targets, so just let me know if you see anything pass over you.
All right. It's American 1095. Yeah, something just passed over. Don't know what it was, but it's at least 3,000 feet above us. So yeah, it passed right over the top of us.
Okay, American 1095, thank you.
In the late 1940s and 1950s, numerous jets were scrambled in different situations at different times to pursue UFOs. A few of these aircrafts and pilots would never return. Fast forward to the years 2004, 2014, and 2015. These were the years that the military pilots documented UFOs on their FLIR camera systems. The Pentagon officially released the videos in 2017. Commander David Fraver was one of the pilots that intercepted the incredibly fast-moving objects in the sky.
Echo 61 Tango object.
Oh, got it! Woohoo!
Roger. There's troubleshooting.
Did you box moving target?
602.
No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at that, man. Look at it fly. What the Dude, there's a drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is an LNS, dude. Well, if there's like... Look at that thing! It's rotating.
Fraver, a Navy pilot for 18 years, was the leader of the squadron that night. They were on a routine training mission off the coast of California when his unit was directed to intercept and examine a strange and fast-moving unidentified object that was descending from 80,000 to 20,000 feet and would then disappear. After flying approximately 70 miles, Fraver said he saw what appeared to be a tic-tac-shaped object about 40 feet long with no obvious signs of wings or propulsion system. The object was close to the water at this time and was creating some sort of disturbance on the water. The commander said this object moved faster than anything he'd ever seen in his life. Fraver said as he got closer to the object would accelerate and then vanish. Fraver said that he truly believed this object was not from the Earth, and in his 18 years of flying, he has seen just about everything, and this was nothing close. With all eyewitness accounts from various pilots, they all say the objects have no clear propulsion system. In Commander Fraver's video, he points out that with the flare systems that are in the F-18s and most modern fighters, the system would pick up an exhaust from an aircraft. This object had no exhaust and no obvious signs of an engine. So that leads us to the question, if these are in fact craft not from this world, how are they being pushed through the air? Does lift, weight, thrust, or drag not affect these crafts the same way the principles of flight affect our aircraft? And if not, how do they fly? Well, if any of you have heard of Bob Lazar and his story that details the time he was basically a rocket scientist that worked at Area S4, or better known as Area 51, where he was employed to reverse engineer a crashed spacecraft that our government had possession of. He said in the 80s when he first came out with the story that these crafts do not have a propulsion system the same as we do on our aircraft. Instead, they made their own field of gravity around the craft, allowing the object to manipulate gravity for the forward, back, up, and down motion. It just so happens that the various pilots that have encountered UFOs describe the objects to have a type of propulsion that would closely resemble Bob Lazar's explanation. So this leads us to our question to you. Would our modern-day fighters even have a chance against crafts like this? Objects that at one moment can be sitting still, then seconds later, moving at unearthly speeds never to be seen again. Our fighter technology is advancing every year, especially with the stealth technology on aircrafts like the F-22 and F-35, but still may be no match to an actual UFO. We believe the government is taking these sightings seriously enough to create new programs for reporting. Military aviation is advancing fast, but is it fast enough?